So good morning everybody, Carlos here, just off on a foraging expedition. I was peacefully having my breakfast when I got a phone call from Norma telling me that she saw some wood that I could pick up, which is kind of imperative because the wood doesn't stay very long when it's been blown down or cut. It doesn't last long before somebody picks it up, so it's almost like I'm on a mission to go and collect the wood before somebody else does, which is kind of convenient because I am somewhat injured. Not being able to run means that I'm on my e-bike or my regular bike. Today it's going to be a foraging day. I'll go and check out the wood that she spotted first, and then I'll go and do a nice scenic Queenswood loop that should bring me by some other possible blowdown. Okay, so I'll get back to you later, but at the moment I have to go and get that wood if it's still there. Until then, I will pause the recording. Okay, so I'm getting close to my destination here. I missed out a lot of traffic noise for you, you'd be glad to know. But I'm riding into the bright sunlight, so it's a little bit tricky to see the street names. No, that's not Lodge. Lodge is the street I'm looking for. There was an apartment building here that burnt down just before they were finishing the outside of it, like maybe a week or two away from possible finishing. The whole building burnt down, so that's kind of suspicious. Nope, that's not Lodge either. This next one I think is Lodge. Yep. Yeah, I'll take a picture of the burnt out building. It's quite spectacular, really. Hang on a second. I'm on the sidewalk now, so don't worry for my safety. Let me just grab my point and shoot camera. Alright, so this is the corner of Lodge and Quadra Street. I think I've just taken a picture of the sky. Alright, let me concentrate here for a second. I don't want to miss it by riding past it. But she did say that it was cut wood. Ah, yep, I see it. I think they're too big for me to deal with. I'll take a picture of it as well. But it's definitely too big for me to deal with. One chunk of wood would fill my entire pannier, and then I would have to split it. Alright, so plan B, I'm heading back towards Quadra. Towards the Queenswood. That's right, Queenswood Drive. Here I come. I might have missed it. This might not be what she's referring to, but I'll have photographic evidence. Let me just grab my recorder and pause it again. I'm up to 5 minutes so far, and I pull. Uh-oh. There's a peloton of young ladies just gone by me. Up the hill. Push, push, push! Yep. They're good cyclists, those girls. I think they're triple shot. The triple shot ladies. I'm going to hang a left now onto Glendinning. Yeah, I think they're going that way too. Yeah, there they go. Yep, I'll let them go ahead. I might actually be able to take a photograph of them. See if I can do this without falling off my bike. I am kind of injured. I think I'll not do that. I really don't want to fall down off my bike trying to take a picture of, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 6 very healthy cyclist girls. Yep, they're going the way I'm going. Yep, 2, 4, 6, 7 of them. And hello. Through the puddle. So the first lot of wood was a waste of time. Everything was too big. I have to explain that I am foraging on my e-bike, which has panniers, limited storage. I can carry up to about 40 pounds weight of wood in my panniers, but I was always using the analogy of my leg. I was saying to Norma, well, how big are the pieces? Are they like my calf, the size of my arm, the size of my leg? Well, those ones that I rejected were the size of my waist. If you could imagine a cummerbund round my middle, that band and that circumference would have been the size of the piece of wood that she was suggesting that I should be bringing home in my panniers. One of those would fit in my pannier, maybe 2, but that would be it. And then I would have to split the wood. And I have a maul at home and a heavy sledgehammer. And that's the only way I can split wood. So this really is hunter-gathering existence. Foraging is the name of the episode, and basically I've gone back to my caveman ancestry as a hunter-gatherer. Yeah, I'm going to put my glove back on because taking it off to try and take a photograph of the peloton of women left me with one cold hand. Alright. I have been injured. I worked a full week. And there go the girls. They're going to Mount Doug. Mount Doug Park and Cordova Bay. They're going that way. I'm going towards Queenswood. I'm now on San Juan Avenue. Very soon I'll be back in the quiet neighborhood streets of Gordon Head. Yep, there go the girls. Alright, back in my neighborhood. Time for another pause. 10.50 kilometers is my foraging trip so far, which is about half an hour of cycling and maybe 10 minutes of audio as I pause the audio once again. "11 minutes. So I'm taking a little photo break here because the reason for this outing is because I'm unable to run after the week's work that I did 7 days straight for my friend, my poor old friend Rob. He's been off sick for a good while now. I'm putting my earbuds away and I'm going to take off my rather smeary sunglasses, cycling goggles, because they're not helping me see clearly, that's for sure, as I have to stoop to pick up my dropped earbud. So off on my bike again after having taken my little photo break. You could just hear the guys, the soccer players, chanting their team chant. Okay, now I feel a little more aware of my surroundings. I managed to get injured on the last day of my week by kicking the edge of a very sharp lid for a chafing dish. I think I mentioned chafing dishes on my last podcast. They're the bane of my life. I hate them with a passion. They're these stainless steel pans that they use with little candles underneath, about the size of a boogie board, if you know what a boogie board is.
Time 37 minutes. Distance 12.10 kilometers. Average heart rate 93. Workout average speed 19.64 kilometers per hour.
Samantha is a little bit on the loud side. She is right next to you guys in my pocket. Samantha is hanging in her pouch inside my Welsh sweater. And then I have my voice recorder tucked into my lapel pocket. I think that's what it's called. The front, where you put your handkerchief, not lapel. I think the lapel is what's on your shoulder. Epaulets. Alright, so now I have no direction. I am not foraging on somebody else's directions. This is totally seeing what I see. That's the other reason I took off my smeary goggles.
Average heart rate 91.
My goggles.
Workout average speed 19.73 kilometers
They
per hour.
weren't helping me spot the logs. Anyway, I got this chafing dish, almost knife edge, right between my ankle bone and my shin. Oh, it makes my skin creep every time I even think about it. One injury, not quite enough to break the skin, but probably some quite serious tissue damage. nerve damage as I cross Gordon Head Road. I don't want to lose track of time here, even though my sense of time is somewhat warped. I've already covered 30 plus kilometers.
Average heart rate 92. Workout average speed 19.80 kilometers per hour.
Not totally eventless e-biking. I've seen a few issues. I saw the peloton of girls. I saw some neighbors of mine out for a hike. I always see them. An old lady, I think she's been on one of my podcasts. I spoke to her in the woods once. I'm now on Arbutus Road, I believe it's called, heading towards Queenswood Drive. However glorious the sun is and the reflection of the sun off the road, it is still a cycling hazard. So I will pause.
Time 40 minutes. Distance 13.25 kilometers. Average heart rate 92. Workout average speed 19.89 kilometers per hour.
I will pause the recording once again and save some time for when I'm in the more scenic spots to speak to you guys again.
Auto pause.
Alright, so I'm now on Queenswood Drive, going slowly so that I don't miss anything. Looking for, ideally, a piece of wood blown off a tree that's big enough to fill my panniers with wood. I brought my bow saw today so I can cut the wood down to size. This little loop is about 1.5 kilometers. It'll bring me
Time
back
44
onto...
minutes. Distance 14.92 kilometers. Average heart rate 91. Workout average speed 20.37 kilometers per hour.
I see something that looks perfect. One large piece of blow-down wood that I can cut into smaller sections and take home.
Auto pause.
In my pannier. Yep. I don't want to spend too much time. It is basically theft of somebody else's wood. But I don't think anybody will object to me cutting firewood. It is quite a quiet side street in a rural part of town. This piece is quite rotten and damp, but I will know when I cut it. I will know when I cut it what sort of condition the wood is in for burning.
Zone 0.
That'll do. It will do. I have some wood that I bought to keep the fire going. This is just going to fill in when I'm
Zone 1.
When I have the wood fire going nicely. I can put these damper pieces around. That'll keep the fire going for an extra 2 or 3 hours, which is what I'm after now. Prolonged heating. Okay, so I work again on Tuesday, but that's just my normal shift.
Zone 0.
And hopefully by then I will be healthy enough to not have to report of yet another injury or malady. There's another piece. I'll dispatch this piece and head on and finish my loop, having succeeded in my mission of recording a podcast whilst injured and taking some photographs as evidence of my labours.
Zone 2.
Yep. This is going to fill one pannier. I've got a bit of a side branch to negotiate here.
Zone 1.
Done. 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 And one more piece. Just cutting it to the size of my
Zone 2.
fireplace. Alright, pannier number 1 is now full of an old, rotted out branch.
Zone 1.
I will take a photograph of it and head on to Crawford Beach. Access. Yep. And this should be enough for the audio podcast episode. Foraging will be the title. 22 minutes. Perfect. Bye-bye.